5.
What?
Yeah. Are you about to learn the tongue? The dragon language? The chant?
Yeah, by the way, this Gatorade in there now.
What?
Am I the only one who's seen that?
There's Gatorade in
I
there.
didn't know it was that bad.
Oh shit, there's Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Have them good drinks, guys.
Yeah.
Have the good drinks.
What about
There's Gatorade in there. Have the good drink.
Oh. I don't know
Watermelon.
Lava Girl.
Similar to that.
No.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
As you guys look forward, you can see that
That's insane.
Varys has now continued to walk forward. Are you all following?
Yes.
Yeah, hold on. I want to see.
Right. Yishif, Alcrar.
Yeah, I'm following him. He seems to be the one that's in the know, so I'm sticking close to him.
Does the person with the leader of the pack want an extra 10 feet of movement?
I would think that'd be a good thing for you, Varys.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I mean, it lasts an hour, so I mean, you'll be able to stay ahead of the group.
Does
I
it
don't
cause
think
you a spell
separating in
slot?
a fog is a good idea.
That or the equivalent of one in my proficiency casting.
Isn't it only like wait? Is this long? Is this long fighter?
Hogarth
Yes.
Okay,
speaks
so it's only
up.
second level.
No, it's first level.
Oh, even better first level. He's got like 10 of those.
I have 8 of those, and then I can cast it 3 times a day, a long rest without expending a spell slot.
Hogarth speaks up.
But isn't that for any spells though, including second and third level and such?
No, I haven't reached that point yet. It's
Only for first
that's
level?
that's a feat I have called proficiency caster.
Okay, so it's only for
Yes, first level spells. A number of times equal to half my proficiency bonus. I can cast a spell of first
So
level.
Varys, as you're walking forward into the fog, you hear behind you Hogarth, Yishif, and Alec talking.
I say, I don't think it's a good idea for you to cast that. Especially splitting up in fog is not a smart idea.
Well, actually, I can clear the fog. I mean, I won't. I still won't.
Anyone can clear this fog pretty easily.
If you'd like, I can just.
Jesus fuck!
I really hope that was.
That was not in character.
If you'd like, I can.
That was
quickly
not in
just
character. You
go
guys know.
away. Just, or at least a decent chunk of it.
Well, just talking.
The point I was trying to make it, I was basically saying over my shoulder, don't cast Land Strider, because we shouldn't be separating as we're going into fog.
Speaking of fog, do you want me to get rid of it?
Varys can hear them, right, what they're saying. Right, Varys turns around and is like, no need to use your magic. No need to show them what we're capable of yet. Keep it hidden. It might need it.
So what do you all do? Continuing doing clearing the fog?
Yes. I'm not clearing the fog.
We are moving up.
So, all of you taking glance around, you're not sure what will come next. Whether these are people, creatures,
Or
the
God.
monks of the Iasion Temple have not been seen in ages. Their presence has been kept in solitude to these mountains, to this monastery, to these ranges, to this territory. You are about to step where very few have. In fact, the path that you have taken has been traveled by a handful of people in the past. Ones who are not a part of this territory. You will continue up the mountain path. When you walk into the fog, it's almost like it swallows you whole. You don't realize you're in the fog until you turn around and you can barely see the party members behind you. I need right now, who has their animal companions with them?
I have Boulder with me on my
He'll
shoulder.
also consider my animal companion.
Knowing
Is he with me?
how monks
He's with you if you choose to take him with you.
I would have left it up to him if he wanted to go. I mean, I would have invited him if he came of his own free will. So did he come?
He's staying there then.
knowing how much
Staying with me or staying at the boat or at
The boat.
So he is still at the boat. Okay. I invited him, but I did not order him to come.
knowing how monks get around things like my creature, I don't think the free muffler would be the smartest idea.
Okay, so he's the small one. Chirpy.
Probably leaving Chirpy in the boat.
Okay, Fulgur.
To eat another kid.
Boulder's on my shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, you said you brought Fulgur.
And your foxes are on the ship.
Getting into
As you all begin walking and walking and walking, eventually you find this is where it gets confusing for you all because you find that the fog begins to slowly clear to where you can see that you are now on a very thin pathway. This pathway is maybe 4 feet wide, looking down into a solid line straight down into the mist that you can see a possible wall, a bridge, a path that just continues forward. When the fog clears and you all realize this, and you guys have been kind of, at first you were a little spread out, but then eventually turned into one by one. You were very lucky to find yourselves on this path because you looked behind you and it continued back farther than you realized. You have been walking in a single straight line with an unknown distance straight down on either side of you. Taking a second, everybody please make an intelligence check.
Do I... any proficiency?
Alright.
No, this is just your
15.
14. You have normal, then
15 as well. This ring is throttled off.
Hey, I got the highest I could without a nat 20, 25.
Nice. 11. Yeah,
Because
15.
Alec is very intelligent. Alec is scary smart.
So as you guys are all standing there looking at this,
The ring's useless whenever I roll. I can't roll because it throws off when it's rolling, so it ends up stopping.
Then use your left hand to roll.
No,
So
that's
roll
even
the ring.
worse.
so as you guys,
Roll the ring.
as you guys are looking at this, the fog, it's almost like it's portraying images. These shapes and shadows in the mists. A couple of them seem inviting, and a couple of them seem more or less hostile. Like they couldn't possibly be out there. You don't see any wings, you don't feel any magical presence, you don't hear any chanting. You just see these things floating above an unknown distance into a sheer drop down into whatever's below. In a second, you all can come to terms with what you're about to do and keep moving forward. Take a long walk, continue until you find that the path stops. You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Magical.
I mean, wait, do you have bonuses with magical terrain?
No, I just have to done dexterity saving throws.
What?
Is that one of your athlete abilities?
Okay, well, I was just about to say, because once again, I have that thing, anything that affects terrain-wise, I could give advantage on as well.
So, Jeremiah, as you're standing there, and you're looking around for a second, you continue walking. After about 2 minutes of walking, eventually you find the path stops immediately without any warning. You catch yourself pushing yourself back. Whoever's behind you, you guys all begin to sort of pile up or stop. Not some of you bumping into each other. You all keep your balance for the most part. It's not too difficult to readjust. You stop just in time. You start to notice that the area around you begins to shake. Slight tremors begin to channel themselves through this large stone path that ascends out of the fog. You hear, on top of the normal thunder that you would hear from the surrounding area and the storms gathering, you also hear thunder sort of resonating in the fog, the mist around you as well. Alec, your eye twitches for a second as
Which one?
your favorite. Twitches for a second and looks at Bishop. Which you see a hand.
Bitch, what you do?
Which you see a hand quickly just go to the side.
Gesha?
Yes.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Oh shit. Does Gesha need to make a deception check for that?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I need to make insight.
Nat 20!
Oh.
Kick up.
Should I at least still
The
ask?
portable cup shack.
Because I know sometimes in that, well, yes, it's a
Try.
What did you
I've got a
hold on.
plus
Insight, right?
freaking.
29.
That's still. My nat 20 still at 30. Anyways.
Giship, everything seems fine. She just seems to be balancing herself as she's walking with a bird on her shoulder. Arms that can pull herself back in. Your eye still. It feels sort of like it's spikier than usual. It's just slightly scraping against the inside of your
Ooh, that sounds nasty.
As the thunder slowly fades away as you continue walking, and then eventually stop. As Varys stops it, and goes, damn it. Sorry. Twitching fucking it goes away.
No.
So, when you stop looking out in the fog, you can't see any other path besides the one behind you. You look down, you can see it descend down into the area below. If you want to, you can take your foot and try to move it around in front of you, so it's just a music or something.
Is it a straight drop off?
It's almost like someone took a blade and cut it perfectly down.
Invisible walkway.
There's nothing on the other side.
Walk
it's
with
just
space.
Stops. There's no path ahead.
Do you want me to clear the fog now?
Man, if only we had Bluto with his 10-meter stick. You could just
10 meter?
10-foot stick.
Yeah, let's say 10 meter stick.
Long ass.
Same difference. Yeah, definitely not 20-foot difference.
Huh?
A meter is a little bit bigger than a foot.
No,
Whatever
A
happened to
meter's
the-
over 3 feet.
Did we ever
So
seize
it's a
the
yard.
seed after?
Yeah, so that'd be 30. That'd be like a 32 foot.
No, wait, it's a little bit
Did he
less
take
than a
the
yard.
stone?
No, it's a little bit more.
Damn.
No, I thought
We
it
need
was
the
less.
No, it's more.
Who?
Meter's a little bit bigger than a yard.
30 meters up.
What'd you get? For your...
And no one cares about magic.
I was gonna take one of my ice snaps and
No one except the
throw it
entire
in
rest of the
front
world except for
him.
America.
Taking
Let's
those ice
just-
snaps, holding your hand, tossing it a couple of times. You toss it right where the path would be, and it falls straight down.
Yeah, now might be a good time to clear the fog.
Alright.
You hear from the other side. As you do that, you hear, "Who is there?"
I thought you were gonna say something like "Who dares approach?" But you know.
Alright. So, Varys is gonna answer for collectively.
What is your quest?
We are Attonitae, and my name is Varys Leoban.
You see that the fog begins to clear about 15 feet out and dissipate, and you can see that the path does continue. There's a person standing, feet just barely off the edge of this path. Standing perfectly balanced, you can see his hands are currently crossed. And when the fog begins to push away, he then moves his hands and
Wait, what does he look like?
juts them out. One second. He juts his hands out. When he does, you can see almost like a shock wave. It just, when it does, the fog juts back, revealing the path to continue very, very far back until it eventually hits land, about maybe 200, 300 feet. You can see that alongside of this one singular path that comes out from the landmass, there are two coming in diagonally that eventually stop feet before the path that he is currently standing on, with two more people flanking his sides, currently looking at you, arms also out in this sort of, I don't want to say, it's not necessarily magic, it's just sheer force that they're generating. You can see that the one standing in the middle does have large beads around his neck, seemingly not made out of pearls or gems or jewelry, but out of stone, metal, things pulled from the earth. You can see that his cloak, what he's wearing, is a very dark navy blue that falls off of one shoulder, gliding down one arm. This shoulder gliding down to this arm has nothing on it. You can see his bare chest with a single tattoo carved and inked into his skin. It seems that it was originally carved and now it's inked and added on and slowly kind of engrosses his shoulder.
So they tattooed a scar into the shape of the scar that was already there. Okay.
Make it stand out more.
You can see he has no shoes on. He has no gloves. He has nothing else on besides what I described in a single staff that goes across his back. When I say staff, what I really mean is a miniature pillar. Something that would hold up a building.
Wait, like a Sun Kong killer? Like the thing he uses?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, a lot like what you normally see before, like a medieval 40K art.
So, fantasy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's that because there's a lot. You know how you have Iron Man on medieval. It's sort of like that. I've seen a lot of artwork of that. I'm like, oh, that matches what I'm trying to do. Okay, so
Just show a picture.
no, I can't.
It literally looks like
The,
a big bow staff.
yeah, that's what I'm
A
trying to look at.
thick boy.
The thing that he has, it's not just from here to maybe down here. No, what happens is it's about maybe a 25-foot long solid
Oh,
stone,
God.
stone, wood, and metal pillar that has bracings along the side that go all the way down to his back. His hands pushed out, then come back to rest. Looking at all of you, his eye. When you kind of lean a little bit forward, you look and you can see his eyes are glossed over. It's not black, it's not blue, it's not green, it's just white. There are no pupils. As he stands there and looks at all of you, you can see that his bald complexion, there's no hair in his face whatsoever except for eyebrows. The man seems to have a perfect stance with this very, you would assume, very heavy pillar. For those of you who are in the back, all you can really see is Varys standing there looking dumbstruck as to how this man is standing on this pillar and not dying.
Wait, so you said he was balancing on something. I missed the part of the narration before he got rid of the mist.
He had said, "Who are you?" or "Who is there?" When he did, he pushed.
So is he standing on a path, a pillar?
Okay. So if you had heard from before, there's a path that comes out from the mountainside that currently descends down to the mist. So there's this U shape that you can see, and from this U shape, you can see that it drops down just as steep and just as hard as the path that you guys are all currently standing on does. And about 15 feet out from Varys, from the front of the path, you can see that he is standing on the rest of the path that continues up to that curve of the mountainside.
Oh, there's a gap.
Yep. And there are two. So from that sort of curved mountainside where his path comes out, stops, and then your path continues and goes on, there are two others that converge diagonally feet away from his. They have a similar complexion to him, but their stabs are not nearly as large and physics defying. You can
So
see
it's 25
They
feet
are
long.
dressed in similar attire, except theirs are sort of a dark orange or brown. Their beads are not nearly as large as his. His are about the size of like a baseball, where theirs are more the size of maybe, let's say, in terms of comparison, probably like a golf ball would be the right size for theirs. They have once again the robes that does go off of one shoulder. You can see that their staves are actually normal staves. It seems that maybe they might be made out of wood or stone. The rest of you guys can only see the ones on the two sides. Varys, you're the only one who sees the one in the middle, and for anybody who's trying to look at the one in the middle, you can see that all you can really see is his staff going across, and you're wondering, is that a structure or a person?
So just to be clear, that staff is almost twice as long as this room is tall.
Yeah.
What
And
the
how tall
fuck?
is this dude?
He's about 6'7".
That's
So
weird.
this staff is 4 times as tall as he is. What the fuck?
He says, Attonitae. You can hear his voice echoing, booming throughout the cavern.
Does it say anything else? Varys is going to nod and say, yes, that is who we are.
To give you a good reference, that cord right there is about a 50-foot cord. So it's not fully stretched out, so I can't really give you a good reference, but it's about from where I am right now to where
Probably that chair right there. Almost.
yeah, about that chair, or maybe
The stool.
you see the red and gray stone foam structure that's up
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's about how far away he is. So for you, this massive stone staff, which is about that thick around.
Oh,
It's on
that's a
his back.
breaker right there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Is quite intimidating from this distance. And there is light coming from his direction towards you, but it's sort of dispersed in the fog, spread out, so it's not just this blinding light. Instead, what it is this sort of soft glow that creates a silhouette from behind him.
Oh no, you're closing! Sorry, he just fucking around the sorry, we're close side.
So
How? What is it, this?
what happened?
Okay.
You guys get another violation for it?
No, we almost got evicted because we can't back our car out of the so we have to hang out in the truck. They have to hang out in the street and get to back up with something else. We don't have anywhere else to park our car.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, did Padre call or something? Padre call? Sorry. Gave me a bit of a shock. Yeah, we have 3 cars. We have a 2-car driveway. We could try to park in the street.
You will definitely get evicted for that.
Parking on the street. Our fucking neighbors do it too, but no one says it. Sorry. I just kind of...
Unless you try and park at the end of the street.
Yeah, Sean and I tried that. It didn't.
Yeah, they got the tickets for it.
Wasn't it because one of your neighbors is an asshole?
Yeah, we did. But yet she said hi on Halloween, so I guess that makes up for it.
People are jackasses and then they think they can veer from the house.
So as you guys see this, you can see that he still stands there. That's all he says to you.
Zaris, who is this dude?
Oh, we'll find out.
Also, is that
So that's all he said even after I responded with yes, that's who we got.
is that a building or a person? I can only see the giant stone staff.
I don't know why you know what
Appears
you
to be
asked.
his preferred weapon of choice. Varys is... The path continues up to him, right? Okay. Varys is gonna walk towards him.
So, you mean the path from him to from you to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a gap, but it continues.
Of
after
how many? How long?
15 feet.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah, it's
Alec can
you, have
wee
to,
woo you.
you have to try to jump the whole 15 feet
Or Alec can wee woo
where
you.
he's standing on the edge. And you can
Yeah.
try to
Half of us can go across on our own.
Yeah.
Alec, myself, and Alec Power can all just get across.
This is a monk mountain. It's probably covered with anti-magic. Or is it?
Time to
I
use my
fucking
athletic
have
ability.
wings. He has fucking wings.
It
So you
probably
know-
has
just so you know,
anti-wing shit.
If you're going to be jumping realistically, you have to jump
arrows?
25 feet. This
Nah, the
15-foot
mist
space
just makes
is
your wings
5 feet,
detach.
then another 5
Like
feet.
a lizard's
Right.
tail.
If you were to jump.
Not a fan of it.
Oh, so I have to jump over him.
Yeah,
He's right on the edge of the-
I had
of the
said he was
walkway.
At the edge of the pathway.
Yeah, he is right on the edge there.
This is you standing there. Everybody, please make a dexterity saving throw.
That's a good one.
Is the terrain
No
still
big deal.
mountainous?
Just quick saving throw. Yeah.
Hey, nat 20. I rolled it.
27.
25.
17. The dice are not with me today.
425, natural 2017.
28.
Hey, wizard. So as you're all
He's got
standing there,
fucking bullshit
as
stuff.
you're all standing there, this huge gust of wind pushes past you all,
Oh.
filling you with this sort of influx of fear and a sudden kind of anxious shock. You know, the one that you would normally get when your parents come home and they're like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Hey, I only fucked the dog once, okay?
Or, or where you're about to fall off of an unknown distance cliff.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Skydiving for free.
Not when there are things in the air.
Hey, aerial battles.
You know, it's more gliding for you, not flying, right?
I can fake it at some points.
He says.
I've got a teleportation ring, I've got Misty Step, I've got, the door.
As he says that, he says, "So, what?" And he looks behind you. It's very strange. It's a massive pillar, hands clasped together, turns.
Oh god.
You can see that when he turns, his robe sort of comes up just a little bit, and you can see there is no, oh, is that a muscle? No, it's like he was carved from stone. It's just nothing but pure muscle at his side as he turns. His biceps, very impressive. Turns and looks behind you, and you can see now, all of you, that he is in this massive pillar. Shifts just a little bit, and you can see a head peek out from the side. Judgingly, come back, and he says, "What is your purpose?"
My purpose is to claim Helm's place.
You can see that he doesn't seem shocked or fazed by this. He says,
It says lightsaber.
not agree. He says, "Many have, though none take this difficult path as you have. There's an elevator over this."
Wait, what?
I swear. There's an elevator up there. Yes.
God damn.
You synced that so well. I thought he was still talking. I was like, I thought he was still saying there, and then I was like, oh, elevator. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Elevator time.
He
Oh, Carl, you
says
wanna
you
invent the
took
elevator?
the difficult path.
Once again, an elevator right there.
Prove to me why you're here.
Have you heard of the prophecy of the Artifacts of Ascension?
It is a tale told by many.
Wait, should I be the echo now?
You
Yes.
don't have to be.
God damn it.
Many.
I am the one in the prophecy said to claim on this place.
Play.
And the rest of my friends here are the others mentioned in the prophecy as well.
So you're the one
One.
that the heat inspires.
Yes.
A boy from elemental legends, brought from myth.
Ian, please be quiet.
Ian, you are signing your death sentence.
Brought from myth into reality.
Reality.
Over the goes gravity.
Indeed. Ian, I swear to fucking God.
It's not even just me anymore.
We are going to kill both of you.
I'm just following along with you.
He says to you, as this happens, he says, step back.
Varys motions with his hands, everyone to step back. And Varys is also going to take steps back when they do.
Alright, so you're all stepping back as he motions you all to move backwards in a straight line.
Okay.
Right. For those of you who are strategists, you start to notice that this is oddly placed. You're in a single file line, high above the ground.
Oh, he's just going to drop us, isn't he?
At an unknown distance. You're in once again, a single file line on a stone path. There really is no battlefield here. It's sort of the perfect area.
Fish in a barrel.
Gatekeep. Or for peacekeeping, yeah.
Fish in a barrel.
So wait, I have a question. What's the order? I know he's at the front.
Then me.
Varys, Hogarth, Gisheth, Alcar, Alec.
Drip.
Is Drip here? Drip, you're here!
Participation is another situation, though.
Man. Ryan, just have Drip be your, self-insert character at this point.
Erin will join in whenever she wants.
No, you are the self-insert now.
So,
Aaron can just take control of Drip whenever he wants.
Told you how I was smart. Rank.
as this happens, you can see he takes about 4 or 5 steps back. Stops. He takes his hand, places it on the pillar, lifting it up into the air. He then drops it down quickly and punches it. As it spins, he gives it sort of like a speed boost. And so,
Oh, is this the path?
taking it, lifting it up,
Seems like it.
then quickly dropping it down. As he does, his hand swivels swivels over, and pushes as he punches, sending it up into the air. So normally it would be lifted up, then down, and it would spin and hit the side of the path. And what he does is he gives it sort of a speed boost and elevates it, changing the trajectory as it does. It spins. So it spins and it gets sort of shot up straight, rather than just starting off spinning and then hitting the wall. So it starts off straight. Sorry, shoots up into the air, and as it does, he clasps his hands together, pushes down. You can see that when he does, not blue, green, red, yellow, or anything like that. A sort of very, very transparent gray force gets shot into the stone beneath him. As he does, this sort of what is it called? I'm just gonna say it. He projects himself up into the air, shooting like a bullet. It's just instant up, right where the spinning
Dragon Ball shit right
right
here.
where the spinning pillar is. He then catches it. So as the pillar is spinning and spinning and spinning, as it spins over, he catches it, stopping it. Taking both of his hands, he pushes it down to his feet to where he's sort of riding it like a surfboard or like a skateboard, and then slams it into the stone beneath you, pushing it deep into the stone and creating a flush path from yours to this.
And he could have done this so much easier just by tipping it over and smacking it down.
Yeah, but he's got to show how big his dick is.
I know.
As he does that, he slides back up from that typical monk stance, back up into his original pose and says, "The Eye of Sion greets you, warriors." As he does, he then from his stance, he presses them together once again, slides and pulls them apart. And as he does, you can see his feet begin to slowly sink into the stone. As he then is defying gravity, as he then begins to walk to the side of the stone path and down into the mist. As you now have heading towards the United States, wherever it may be.
This man was carrying a whole ass bridge on his back.
Yes, he was. And I have to use the bathroom real quick. You all decide on what you want to do.
Wait, Ryan, real quick. Are the other two still there? When Varys gets across, he wants to ask, he says that I'm welcome. But are my friends welcome as well?
Both of them are sort of like sentinels. They don't speak, they just respond, but they look at you and each go, nodding their head.
Huh. And you're more important, but they'll bear with us.
I just want to make sure that if you guys come across, you're not going to get caged and be like part of the prize pool
You see,
for whatever happens.
you see, what's going to happen is you're the one who's going to be going to get the thing, and it's going to be like the Yu-Gi-Oh battle. You're the one who's actually fighting. We're all here for moral support.
Yeah, we're
exactly like when we went to get genocide.
But who's Joey?
Yeah, no, this is what it's gonna be like for all your artifacts. It's gonna be an arena. And we
Question
sit
is,
on the sidelines.
who's Joey?
Until we
Who
go
can do
into
the best
like,
face?
What face?
You know exactly
The
what face.
the
Well,
face.
if there's
There are
a
multiple
Titan
Joey faces.
in
You
the,
gotta specify which
if
one.
a Titan is also joins the
Like a straight,
competition
like, basically
and wants
race face
to
one.
try and get Helm's place, it'd be so fucking hilarious.
Time Wizard!
I don't know if I'll be leaving red or blue stars
I'm
this
show
time.
it to you.
You're gonna have to, because I don't think I'm familiar with that one. Who knows? Maybe
Oh, I'm
I am.
thirsty.
Yep, it's the first. Yeah, that one.
What? I was making a comment. Do I have any money? No, I don't.
You need money?
Yeah, I'm just putting it in the group chat just because I'm lazy.
I have change.
Okay. I feel bad owing you more money.
That
You
one.
don't owe me anything.
How much do you have? Am I
Which
actually
one?
accept this?
Oh yeah. Oh
In terms of
yeah.
Change.
Joey's fuck me rose face. Oh, this is the chest one.
Take
No.
as much as you need.
Oh, no, that one. No,
I don't even know
Of
what
it and bring it.
that one, right? Maybe.
That's like $2.
We occasionally
This is
post
all
that shit on
for-
Okay, this one I haven't seen. Okay, good.
Yeah, they're all quarters.
Oh, the Tesco one?
So it's 2 per water bottle, and 4 if you want like a pop or something. So it's 2 per water bottle and 4 if you want a pop.
Well, I just realized something about if I do my 40K campaign eventually. I may include things from a certain joke, a little bit like the, you could say Warhammer 40K abridged, if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, so maybe keep stuff from that.
I am no longer worried about booty cancer.
Because, there's some things that are just too good to not include in my 40K campaign, even though it's not canon. Like the taco insurrectionists.
What the hell are you watching, Chris?
You see, there's been a civil war in 40K that was caused because people couldn't decide whether it was Taco Tuesday or Taco Thursday.
That just sounds like you guys, but in a story.
And then the Emperor said, "Fuck
Wait,
it, it's Taco
oh.
Friday."
So if you guys have fights, there could be a possible war in the council.
And then even
That
better,
might occur.
Wait, what do you mean?
A war in the council.
Hotheads versus assassins.
I mean, I don't think the Major Guild would get involved in the war.
God damn it, the end. Every
They
time.
might actually side
Lawmen.
with me.
Every
Lawmen
time.
versus Marauders.
Well,
Who
not
would the
Marauders.
Major Guild
He's
even want
actually
to fight?
Mages versus stupid animal
mages versus everyone else.
versus the wildlife. Yeah, everyone.
well, actually, he's actually keen to keeping them in some form of check.
You know what would have
Which
been
is
probably really
interesting.
good?
What?
Because he's not as crazy as the rest of them.
I probably should have grabbed one of the props from the car for this.
We had what?
Which crap?
The yardstick.
The bitch
You
stick.
want to wrap our knuckles?
Yeah, I'm gonna smack him.
Right.
Do it.
I'm gonna get you.
Shove it right
Yeah.
up my ass and impale my brain. Do it.
Ryan, did you hear what we were talking? What I said? while
We
you
don't
were
have a
there?
viewer. We're all good.
No, I mean about us when he's doing his thing. We're just gonna be like in Yu-Gi-Oh! We're the moral support.
Yeah, I saw that text.
Oh yeah, I was mentioning to him about which face, like who has to do that face the best. To be Joey.
Oh wait, here, hold on.
As you're all walking across this stone,
No, not at all.
as you guys are walking across this stone bridge,
Right.
you realize that this isn't a bridge. This is his weapon. This is his staff. This is something he's trained with for years.
What the fuck?
You start to notice that, as
He gets hit with a bridge, 26 bludgeoning damage.
As Drip eventually, the last person Drip walks across, you can see that.
Oh, there's my bridge.
How do I put it? Drip, when you walk across and you step off of the stone pillar, you hear from deep in the mist. As you see, flying out of the mist, him, hands up like this, he grasps the pillar as it shoots up, going up maybe 40, 50 feet. He then spins it around, taking it and using the momentum from that, and sort of like Thor's hammer, pushes himself back down towards the path that you guys had originated.
Does it look like bad CGI with motion blur?
No,
Yes.
It's very good, like Superman ascending from the ground up into the
So
atmosphere.
bad CGI with motion blur.
Yeah, exactly.
So, except in real life, when you guys are watching it happen.
Yeah, bad CGI in real life.
Okay, so eventually
You made a kung fu movie.
he lands, taking the stone pillar from where it originally was, spinning it back around and placing it on his back. You can see that there is not a strap, not a buckle, but instead there is a iron hook on the back that is placed in the center of this, perfectly balanced where he can hold it. He then resumes his position and keeps watch over the gates as the fog begins to slowly fill back in his way.
Must be a boring job.
He then turns around and begins to clap your cheek.
Oh, that's why I
That's
thought more. There's
Raw
some non-stop sex all day long.
I'm gonna go for the young one. Dun dun.
Surprisingly, Giship is the only one that's not raped.
Someone already did that.
As you guys begin to walk forward, how do I put this? You don't hear screams, you don't hear chanting. Instead, what you see is sort of a strange sight.
A giant dick.
No,
Shut up, Chris. Just shut up. I'm getting sick of your shit.
Well, stop eating it then.
I'm 100% serious. I may be laughing
Hey, Ryan,
because of
I have
the
a
fact that
question.
I actually made them laugh, but I really am getting sick of
Very,
it.
very strange question.
Oh god.
Would a dildo count as a construct?
What? God
The
damn.
Actually,
fuck?
it's funny that you say that because they did just recently discover the oldest known pair of sex toys in existence.
How old?
Stone.
Yes.
How old?
Stone Age.
Stone Age.
Give me years, Ryan.
Prehistory.
When do you think the
Pre-
Stone Age
prehistoric.
happened?
Huh.
Stone Age, like they were literally
BC.
like carved out of stone.
Like 2 million years ago.
Fucking ancient.
Pretty good.
God damn
Yeah,
it, I just
it's
realized
like-
I could say.
That thin and
It
long
didn't mean that
boulders at the top.
So Ryan, I have
Probably Queen Elizabeth's first sex toy.
No!
Yes.
You know how old the queen is. She predates
So Ryan,
everything.
could the spell summon
She's probably older than the Earth.
She's probably the one that made them.
Yeah.
God creates the planet.
Yep.
And
I
then
am man and woman at the same time.
Yeah, it was.
I am God.
It's not a.
It wasn't.
except for her. I
It
don't know
wasn't
what-
Adam
walking
and Eve.
one,
It
like
was
one that
Adam
was-
and Elizabeth.
like
No.
a
No, it was
sentient
Adam
one.
and Eve. And then Elizabeth
No,
was
it
standing there
couldn't.
watching them.
That is-
Hi.
God.
So a construct.
She was an
dildo is
accident.
The
my
Big
God.
Bang happens. Elizabeth. Wow, that's a pretty firework.
Somehow.
Why are we?
Can I use a
call
14th
that
level
a house
spell to
extension.
summon Queen Elizabeth?
No, you need a 40th level spell. Because she is literally.
Is it possible?
She is literally the
No.
great.
So I can't summon people from this world.
I'm fine with you guys homebrewing anything you want, but dear God, I will not allow that.
Listen,
What?
she is the great grandmother of ale.
Damn it.
Oh, you don't want me to bring over Stalin?
Stalin?
What could go wrong?
Everything!
We got tyrannical dictator God. Why don't we need another one to combat him?
Yeah.
Is it bad that I'm making?
Wait a minute.
Is it bad that I'm making like an anime battle fight scene animation between Stalin and Hitler?
I think there's already been done.
That has been done
We're
already.
doing it.
Okay, so
You're doing another one. you mean.
Fight fire with communism.
instead, when you all arrive, you notice that
They're both
there's
red.
people talking, there are tents pitched, there are buildings being constructed. You notice that at the base of this mountain, where the monastery, it is not in this flatland area,
I'm sure if I was going to bring
quote
Hitler.
unquote flatland. Instead, what you see is sort of like a small, not city or town, or no, you know what city? Yeah, it's like a small city being built at the base of this mountain, where people from far and wide are now gathering to sort of build up this area where you can sort of make a home. The last safe area, as these mountains do not provide an easy way to get in for invasion or for shock troopers or anything like that. Instead, what you see are mountains sort of creating this bowl effect around them. Stop. Come back in and form sort of like a power button. Come back in and form this singular mountain. So essentially, what you guys are
Seriously,
seeing.
a power button.
Essentially, what you guys are seeing is going from where you had entered, a small, very, very small area that goes in between the mountains, where you can see that it still drops down and sheer drop down the sides, but you now have a mountain sort of creating this tunnel effect as you walk through. It then opens up as you hit the landscape, and you can see that it's this large mountain range bowl where you guys are in this valley. It's very rough terrain around here, so it's not easy to get around, but there are some paths that are not considered rough terrain. You see that this bowl, when it comes back around, eventually stops in the two corners where there's a single mountain that sort of fills in the area at the top, creating sort of like a network effect. You can see that the mountain rises up into the clouds. You can see that there is no more sun, there is no mist or anything like that. You can see that there are tents pitched where smoke is coming out. You can see that there are some buildings being constructed. You can see that there is a single path very, very far away. And on the other end of this maybe a mile-wide canyon, where you can see that there is a path that begins to go up and follows the mountain face. People are walking around. You can see various fighters, very well built. Some of them twice the size of Varys, some of them 3 times the size and strength of Alcron. Some of them rivaling the greatest of assassins, fighters, rogues. These very different, these kind of different areas. You can see bards singing in the streets and sort of egging on this competition because, let's face it, there's not a whole lot of entertainment in the end of the world, and when there's a competition to see who is the strongest and the fastest and just in general the best in terms of battle.
We're going to be moral support.
Can claim this.
We are the rest of the team in Yu-Gi-Oh!
You see, as you all continue walking forward into the town, people begin to stop and look at you. A couple of times people shout out.
Oh God, we are the main characters.
A couple of times people shout out.
Fresh meat!
Sorry.
Although I gotta say that when you mentioned bars, somehow the first thing that came to mind was the minstrels from Assassin's Creed 2 all the way to Revelations.
Are you serious? Oh, God, why?
Those assholes.
Blasphemers.
why?
A couple of times they shout out, murderers! You can see a woman steps forward and looks at all of you and says, you're the reason why they're dead. And when she finishes, she stops and Alcrar and says, dead.
Who died?
She walks back over to her kid, takes both of them and goes into a tent. You can see that people aren't too happy to see you.
Who did we piss off?
Everyone.
We have main hero syndrome. Wherever we go, trouble happens because plot. Also because
SARKON descent. No, I'm just
God damn it.
What the
Time for our back characters.
Here.
when you guys walk through the streets, people sort of clear a path. They still just stop and give you scowls, looking disgustingly at you. No one seems to want to make conversation or make their appearance or whether or not they like you or don't. No. They're mainly focusing on the don't.
Like most people.
Who did we piss off?
Everyone.
Not to worry about the rebel. They are just displeased at the state of the world. It's not our fault. There's one that are in charge of fixing it. And we do not do it fast enough for them.
Is it ever fast for anyone?
I mean, to be fair, we did sit around and do nothing for 2 weeks.
Wait, what? Or you? Oh yeah, you're talking about that.
In front of all the people that are already mad at us, Alex says out loud. I mean, in their defense, we did sit around for 2 weeks.
Are you stupid?
It's an observation.
So are you dumb?
He's dumb. That's my observation.
What is your disability, son?
Everything's
My cock is too big for me to carry around.
I mean,
Big lung shot.
where the hell did my headphones go?
So that was a word that was said.
A group of them. Quite the masterpiece, if I do say so
I
myself.
have to strap it 8 times still on the mouth.
Oh, it's that hard to hit?
Unfortunately, mine's the one from first Halo. Anyway,
From what now?
first Halo.
Never heard of
Oh
it.
god.
I showed you that thing a while ago on it, didn't I? I swear I did.
No?
There's a preview to it.
Really? A little bit.
Oh, you're talking like the modded Halo?
Yeah,
I
not
remember.
first Halo.
I remember there was a.
The sniper rifle's horrible.
So,
It ruined it.
as you all begin to walk through the town, a couple of times you feel animal feed hit you and scatter across your armor. It doesn't hurt. It's not normal for you
It's
all
like a
to be
Guy Fawkes
the
play.
heroes of the prophecy, bringing about the end of a final wave of death consuming the land. Keepers of the peace, bringers of light. They don't seem to see you that way. They see you as the reason why this is happening. People begin shouting. Sorry, I forgot. I keep forgetting the words. People keep shouting at you insults, hurling these allegations at you, claiming that you're the reason. You are the reason why the families are there. You are the reason why the prophecy exists. A couple of people shout out, "We're going to take them. We're going to take the plate from you. You and your stupid friends." They speak randomly, just shouting out these insults at you as you walk through town.
Hey, how mad would you all be if I just said just a lot of these people?
Very.
Varys is trying so hard not to do that himself right now.
You all can commit
you-
mass
you
genocide.
Our part just kind of just
when we
tuning in.
completed the prophecy. No pun intended. Also, where the hell is my
That's what
headphone?
Elliot is coming from you.
I don't know. Let's
Our part just going head empty, just keep going.
You should.
Blocking out the haters.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, yep, I found it.
I picked up a dwarf and moved him 2 feet.
Oh, thank
There you are, good sir.
Actually, at the same time, I think our car would be kind of used to it because people
I'm playing the game. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do both.
I'm a
It's not
people, I'm
working.
used to
Hogak doesn't have a response to that.
No, he does.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
I mean, yeah, being a pirate, I haven't been a pirate for a while.
All right,
I guess he's used to it.
So, you just see this contraption in his hands. Huh?
It's Tom reading the magazine.
Anyways, he says, once again, I have matured in the past 2 months.
So, do we just keep going?
Bring up my shortcomings is one of the reasons why you seem to have let out get to your head.
You might want to speak up. You're very quiet. Just letting you know. I can't.
Well, I'm also trying not to yell, and this is the way I can get the voice.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Alright? I don't think I can yell in this voice. That's the problem. I'm trying to keep the character voice, but I can only do it in a low
See,
setting.
a good character voice you can do at any volume.
It really is.
Listen, a good character voice you can do at any volume.
I'm sure I
Shut
can,
up, Chris.
but
You're not a voice actor.
I'm
I don't
sure I
need to
can
be.
if
It's
I
a
were
very
to
simple
try.
fact.
Like if I were to get really passionate, I'm sure I can carry the voice over, but this is not the situation.
Maybe an inquiry is helpful.
So you need to be like Cam and have a microphone, right?
Yeah, a megaphone, and even then we can't hear him.
Varys is going to reply to you with, you may see it that way, but I am not the one spewing insults. My party members don't make it.
I'm not insulting you. I'm merely suggesting that you be wary.
You do hear occasionally footsteps of soldiers walk by and they kind of interrupt the conversation for a second, giving you flashbacks to a time when things were simple. Answer me.
What do you think I'm trying to do? Teach Myst all. Not go off the rails.
I commend you for that. Even then, the slaughtering of innocents because you don't like what they have to say about you should never have crossed your mind in the first place.
Slaughtering is a strong word. Keeping them unconscious is more
Maybe
like a
genocide.
I want to cut their
What do
heads
you have
off
to say about this,
non-legally.
He
A
agrees
little
with me.
kid walks up as you guys are all walking, just continuing, just trying to ignore some of this.
Oh God, it's a little.
It does build up rage, but the little kid kind of walks up and begins kind of jogging backwards as he's looking up at your group. You know, this
Oh
little
my
kid
God,
looking
why
up
is it
at
always a
your
stereotype? Why?
Looking at you guys, he says, "Are you here to bring more of them with you?"
More of who?
The night walkers.
What night walkers?
Tall, dark.
Told you it was a good idea to keep it in the boat.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
The ones who got my brother.
No, we're not here to bring more of them.
They showed up in Goliath when you were over there and your keep was taken. Anyways, bye.
Bye!
Thanks for the lore, little guy.
It's like a freaking little NPC in a video game.
I hate fucking kid characters.
Oh, Garth, we made
Only when they're hilarious.
I'm so glad there's mods in Skyrim to let you kill those kids. Anyway, moving on.
Oh my. Okay. Oh my God.
There are mods for that.
There's mods for that?
Yeah.
I was just able to do it outright.
There's mods where you can have them have weapons.
Rock.
Fun.
Oh yeah, that works.
Rock!
No, there was a little shit who had a dagger. I couldn't kill him, but he could try to kill me.
I think it's the
You
one.
just drop a
the,
rock on his head.
the little girl in the.
I'd be dead
assassin.
serious. He kills that.
Although I can, technically she's not a little girl. She's 300 years old. Just she's a vampire.
Oh hey, perfect. Legal Wally.
No.
Hey, little kid.
Well,
So
technically
your
all
brother's
Wallies are
dead?
legal.
Yeah.
No.
You
You
want
want
to
a
go in
field
the ocean? No. Want to? Control water.
They're playing with your blood.
Hey, become a bloodbender. Do it.
I mean, I've already tried that.
Must have been the wind.
Try again.
Why?
Ryan.
You die.
Die!
I have a level of control water is required to blood
Floating in the water. I love
Very
that.
high.
I love that
That's
video.
level 2. Got it.
Ah, what about the piss?
The Skyrim
Slightly
NPC
lower.
video where the guy is just wandering
Oh,
around
level
his
1.5?
and then jumps in is my favorite video.
So, as
I've
you all
seen too
continue,
many
you can
jokes
see
of that.
the mountain range, it is cold up here. I mean, you guys do have to have, a little bit of warmth when you guys are packing on the layers. For those of you who have magical abilities or just cloaked in shadows, you're fine. For those of you who have thin-ass robes or
Are very, very obvious.
very, very obvious, yes, or typical armor, and then you might have to kind of, brush off the snow occasionally and dry yourself up. And as you continue walking forward,
My
you can
character
see
is
that
basically
there is
the
a
equivalent of a
tavern
Michigander.
being built.
Being built.
You can see that it already has the 4 walls, it doesn't have doors attached. It has a ceiling, and above the ceiling, you can see that there is going to be an inn possibly constructed, as well as around the back as well. So it seems like they're expanding on their bad idea. What do you all wish to do?
I'm going to search around and see if there is a place specifically where people are meeting that are claiming homes for it.
Go ahead and roll perception checks, sorry. Anybody else? Are you all pretty much just going to be following spirits, or do you want to do more?
What is he looking for?
What'd you get?
Natural 20.
For the home's meeting place. Where you can meet
the
the.
sign-
Well, if that were the case, then yes, I would follow him.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
I will be right back.
I'm just gonna explore, and then I'll try meeting back up with them.
I'll do the same as him, but not with him unless you want me to.
If you want, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes.
Okay, I'm gonna explore
There's
anyway.
looking around, you don't find them. It doesn't seem to be an organized event. It seems to be whoever gets brought up. It's whoever wishes to make the journey up the side of the mountain. But you do find that there are several tables that have either been broken or not broken toward the outskirts of town, where there are people just wrestling and fighting in the snow. You can see that there's no weapons. It's just bare fist on fist. It is. it is kind of sad to see how many people here are more just based on their strength and size rather than strategy and actual techniques. But there is one guy who's about 5'5", and he is shredded. I mean, this guy is like basically Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris in the same body. He's very lean, but very, very well built. I mean, this guy is moving like he's water between all the punches. They mostly slap boxing. You know, someone throws a fit, so you, for example, you see one of the three guys who are surrounding him, sort of. Like, it almost seems like he knows what the little guy's going to do. He goes to throw a punch at the little guy, and the little guy just spins around, parries it up, and then you can see that when he parries it and goes in for the ribs, you audibly hear from about 25 feet away as he shatters or you guess is break a rib, and then pull his fist from his abdominal cavity. Pulls it from it. You can actually, as it then pulls back, and the guy drops to the ground and goes, "Ah!" As the other guy turns around and just begins slapping punches away. Doing a couple, he does spin up in the air, and then I want to say shatter, but it is not nearly what he does. He demolishes this guy's jaw.
He powders
spins
it.
around and using his heel shatters it, demolishes it, just basically makes it into powder and fine-tuned paste.
Yeah, those are the three levels of breaking. There's breaking, there's shattering, and there's powdering. He powders that jaw.
Just let him know.
Disintegrated?
No, powdering.
Just let him
Because it's
know.
still there,
Okay.
just, shifting around as particles.
It is gone. You can actually see that it is extremely loose. It just seems like a thing of flesh and just whatever's left of his jaw is hanging there.
His chin
As
just
he gets
flopping around
the
like a
fuck
turkey.
out and spins around and falls to the mud, out like a light.
His
The
chin
other
just
guy then
flop.
looks at him and he says, "You know,
Cunt.
you seem pretty. Yeah, have a good time."
Oh, hey, we actually have a person. Hey guys, just listening at work. Well, thank you for listening. We got a guy on here. He said, "Hey guys, just listening at work. This is married with lots of kids."
Oh no!
Oh no!
I feel for you, you poor bastard. I mean, I'm
When did
sure
you get
you love
kids?
certain
You have-
moments of
you
it.
have
but
Eltrar's backstory.
God damn it. His uncle. It's always the uncle.
No, my uncles are actually pretty cool.
As this goes on,
So
the
am
big guy who's about 6'5", who was originally part of the three who were trying to take on this 5'5" little guy. He looks and he's like, "You know, I'm gonna go. They can stay here in the mud." And he just walks over. The other guy kind of puts his hands out, brings them towards his chest, cracks several vertebrae going down his back, his neck, brings his fist around him, slams them together as you audibly hear echoing throughout the cavern. He opens his eyes and you can see that it looks the same as the one who was at the gate. You can see his eyes are completely glossed over white. As he controls himself and focuses his hands together sort of at his base, and he then looks over to you and he says, "Do you wish to join me?"
If this is... Well, these people look like a pathetic excuse if they're claiming his place. But yes.
If you're in the final freak, I look forward to fighting. You seem like a sturdy.
I look forward to fighting you too. Very skilled in what you do.
He walks forward and says, as his hands are at his sides, you can see that when he walks, yes, the terrain is very rough, but his feet move like he knows the terrain by heart. Kind of stepping under each stone, avoiding the extremely sharp ones, making sure he doesn't step on anything sort of crumbly loose or that would make him lose his balance. If he even can lose his balance. He has, once again, no hair at all, not even eyebrows. He's walking towards you and stops. You can see that he is significantly shorter than you, but As he's looking at you, he says, I'm Cronus.
How